Netflix got me again. They got me to watch another show starring Robert De Niro.
You talking to me?
0 Day is the worst television miniseries I have watched in recent memory. Netflix would have you believe it is a political thriller, believe it or not. I'm not sure from which angle this seems like a thriller, but okay, let's go with it. I don't really know what the reasoning behind the series was. But before I shove my unsolicited thoughts down your throats, please remember this is all in good fun and spoilers ahead. Not like it would matter. I wish someone would have spoiled it for me before I wasted 6 hours of my time on this garbage. Okay, let's try to make sense of this. So there is a cyber attack in the USA where communication lines go down, there is a power outage, and this person dies because the driver couldn't see a train. Are you really serious with this? When have you ever had to see a train to know it was around you? You can hear a train coming from a mile away. You're telling me that the cyber attack took out this man's hearing? A train this fucking loud? You just gotta be kidding me, right? Is this how you start your so-called intelligent political thriller?
It's so dumb. It's so dumb, it's brilliant. No! It's just dumb!
So anyway, right after this attack, the first person the White House comes to is
Bob?
I don't know whether Robert De Niro is desperate for money or he's just trying to collect characters at this point. Anyway, they visit the former president of the union to
rally the troops, shook hands with the first responders.
I'm sorry, but who the f gives a shit about the former president? What the f is the current president doing? Why isn't the current president rallying the troops? The writers of this show are sexist, I can tell you that right now. I don't know in what bizarro world this plot would make sense where these United States are attacked in any shape or form and the story would revolve around the former president.
What? Are these fucking people kidding me?
I don't know what the writers were smoking, but this ain't your guy, man. The limelight or the focus in this moment should be the current president. I should have just stopped watching the series right here, but I didn't know better. And now it's your problem. Let's continue. Alright, so George agrees to rally the troops. He screams at some protesters and the mob not only listens to him but agrees with him. And this exchange is broadcasted across America to show that the former president is giving the nation some well-needed stability and hope. Again, total fantasy land. These writers can really bend down to their own crotches whilst clearly being high on some grade A hash. God, what a disappointment. You had a good plot and you blew it! Moving on.
Congress is authorizing a special investigatory commission
to investigate what just happened, and guess who they appoint to run the dream team? This guy.
Who are you? Who are you? Who's who? Who are you? Never mind who's who. Who the hell are you?
Bruh.
Why was the role of the head of the department thrust upon an 80-year-old geezer? Not the head of the CIA, nor the NSA, or neither the fucking FBI. No. They want a politician to head this department because he is really the right guy for the job. Forget that this is a cyber attack and then the intelligence departments are really the right people for the job that have the expertise in this area. Who gives a flying fuck? We want George, who gave up being a president for the second term. So why George? The reasoning behind this is the task force has immeasurable powers that are so unconstitutional that it will erode civil liberties of every American citizen, and the only person that is right for the job is George, who is basically government Jesus, and he could do no wrong.
Fuck you!
I would prefer the actual sexy departments like the CIA or the NSA to head this task force. The conspiracies and the lore surrounding these departments is so large that you could tell me that they know where the Ark of the Covenant is buried and I would believe you. What a waste of 6 fucking hours. You could have made Bob the head of any of these intelligence agencies and that would have been more entertaining to watch and far more fucking realistic. I would watch that show. Netflix, hear me out. Stop with these political thrillers going forward. You struck gold with House of Cards because you had a giant like David Fincher in the back and Kevin Spacey in the front. Please don't think you will be able to capture the magic again. Oh, and the former president isn't sound in his fucking head because, obviously, you can't make him a superhero, you gotta give him some flaws, right? He sees things that aren't there, has his ears wrung by the Sex Pistols, like that's a bad thing, and he forgets stuff. You know, you would think that he's suffering from early onset dementia because, you know, he's of age, but no, this was really a slap in the face of the audience. George, thanks to Valerie, thinks that the CIA has injected his brain with a virus called Proteus to mess with him and to sully his reputation in the eyes of the White House, the Congress, and the American people at large. And it's not even that. The reason has to be the worst form of subverting expectations I have ever witnessed in streaming history. And I thought Arya Stark killing the Night King was bad. This was adding insult to injury to the paying audience. So George's wife threatens to out George by telling Congress that he is off his rockers unless he does a psych evaluation. And what do you know? George's mind is in tip-top shape, and it's not Proteus, and neither is it dementia. So what is it? It is his grief about his son unaliving himself. That's the real cause of his hallucinations. At this point, the writers are just taking the piss. And the kicker of this whole season is the reason why the cyber attack was unleashed. You gotta sit down for this, folks, because this is a punch in the gut. The reason why the cyber attack was initiated was to get America together, to remind people what's really important, to listen to each other. The politicians from both sides of the aisle, by the way, along with the tech billionaires, really wanted America to come together against a common enemy because they couldn't pass a legislation in 18 months.
What the fuck is this?
You wasted 6 hours of my time to give me this reasoning? Okay, so why in the hell would Congress appoint George as the head of the task force? Because they were part of the group that initiated the cyber attack. Wouldn't you just hire someone who already had inside knowledge and would just act as a figurehead of the task force just to appease the masses while not actually investigating the problem? Doesn't that make better sense? None of these characters have any weight to them, and their relationships are just hollow. George and his daughter don't get along because of what happened with his son, and she hates him for it. She is also part of the problem because she is one of the people that authorized the cyber attack, and at the end of the series, she just goes
Right to jail, right away.
and that storyline is over. What the show is trying to say is, the reason why she was so hell-bent on him not taking over as the head of the task force was that she did not want him to get involved with this because she knew exactly what was happening behind the scenes. Well, in that case, why did you not just fucking tell your father what was happening and tell him to stay away from the shitstorm? Oh, then she would go straight to jail right at the start of the show because her father would stand on business and blow the lid off this thing. There is no point to her being a politician. Either she becomes one herself because she wanted to prove to her father that she could be better than him so that he would respect her, and in that case, she would have been nowhere near associated with the politician that orchestrated the cyber attack and would rather stand against the idea, or she hated her father and would be at ideological odds with him, where she thought that becoming the tyrant was the best way to protect and keep people safe, in which case it would have been a good father versus daughter battle where she was the bad guy, but no, they don't even give her that. Roger is another ambiguous character, and not because he is nuanced, because the writers really did not know how to hash out this character. He's in bed with the billionaires because he owes them certain favors and knows that they are up to no good, but also backs George because he really believes in him, whilst also simultaneously fucking him over by providing the former president with false information and also not telling him what the fuck is actually happening. Well, he dies because he wants to run away from it all, so that storyline is dead and actually goes nowhere. George does not even find out that Robert was in bed with the wrong people. There is some hokey connection that the creators couldn't even bother to properly establish that George looked towards Robert as his own son, but no, that never goes anywhere. What is the actual president doing in this show, other than wanting to bomb Russia for no apparent reason other than they found a couple of Russian hackers dead in an abandoned warehouse?
What?
You have the whole national security and intelligence arm of the government, the likes of which have never ever existed in the history of the entire civilized world, and you want to go to war with a country with nuclear missiles based upon this hokey evidence? What is happening here? She is nowhere to be seen for the whole season with a couple of cameos until the end, where she basically girl bosses and tells George that she kinda knew what was happening behind the scene but still withheld information.
Why? Why?
Gatekeep, gaslight, and girl boss, am I right, ladies? This story is stupid in the confines of its own logic. The creators have no idea what the point of this show should even be. You know, honestly, I thought this would be a sci-fi thriller where the world gets attacked and aliens announce themselves to the world and try to make the earth their bitch, and it's up to
Bob?
to save the world. That's what I thought. But I put too much faith in Netflix. This shouldn't even have been a 6-episode arc. You could have wrapped this up in a shitty 90-minute film. I really hope there's no season 2. Netflix, please live up to your reputation and have some human decency and don't greenlight another season of this garbage. This isn't even worth watching whilst doom scrolling on your phone. And with that said, time to get on my knees. Thank you for watching. I'm trying to get this channel monetized, and if you like this video, please consider subscribing. I'm on my way to 1,000 subs. Please share this video with others who would be interested in similar topics, as this is the best way to increase visibility. I also have a library of previous uploads as well. I'm sure you'll love the hell out of this one. I hope to see you on board. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.